InfoHub. In our headlines, Dr. Rupert Roopnarine rescinds his resignation and will remain a minister. The billion-dollar Cato School saga has come to an end. Government will seek additional funding to restore parts of the Georgetown prison, and GPL is tackling electricity theft. These stories and more when we return. Daddy! Thanks for staying with us. State Minister Joseph Harmon today announced that Dr. Rupert Roopnarine will remain a minister within the government. Seneca Thorne joins us with the details.
Following widespread media reports, Minister Joseph Harmon today announced that Dr. Roopnarine will remain a minister in government, serving as Minister of Public Service within the Ministry of the Presidency. He will also remain a coalition government frontbench parliamentarian. This decision was reached following a meeting held with President David Granger on Wednesday.
It was clear after that meeting that Dr. Roopnarine will continue to serve as a minister in the government, as a member of parliament, and as a valued member of our cabinet. Dr. Roopnarine's contribution to this country and his ability and capacity to continue to contribute is one which the President spoke about, and was very happy that Dr. Roopnarine has actually pledged to continue serving in the interests of all of Guyana.
Minister Harmon explained that Dr. Roopnarine, the longtime WPA leader, felt that his health condition was preventing him from contributing at the level expected of him.
The President gave him the assurance that the support which he needs to ensure that he continue to function in his ministry effectively will be given to him in that regard.
Dr. Roopnarine sought to resign as minister just 1 month after being reassigned to the Ministry of Public Service. He previously served as the Minister of Education. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
The Cato School saga has finally ended. Mondale Smith was in Region 8 and joins us with this special report.
The almost $1 billion problem-plagued construction of the Cato Secondary School has finally come to an end after years of delay, shoddy work, and uncertainty. A task force headed by Minister Annette Ferguson conducted a site visit and issued the Certificate of Practical Completion to Carres Engineering.
Based on what I've seen is that the works have been done to satisfaction. With me, I have technical support staff from the ministry who would have visited before, who would have visited during the remedial works, and who is here with me today. And what he has reported thus far, based on what I've seen, is that all the remedial works have been done to satisfaction.
Carres Engineering constructed the building and works began in 2012. The building was found to have defects which resulted in lengthy delays. The construction of the school cost $728 million, and there were additional costs for consultation and remedial works. Carres Engineering is relieved that the construction has been completed. Principal Regional Development Officer of the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Anil Roberts, said he is satisfied with the works.
The infrastructure of the school that is here is magically refurbished, if that's the word. Looking at all the infrastructure work that would have been done after the last visit as well, and I believe that the building is ready.
Clifton Pereira, Cato's Tushao, also gave his stamp of approval.
I look forward to September, so I'm just to see the reopening of the school so that the children can benefit from it.
The school includes 56 classrooms, an auditorium, 4 dorms, 4 matron quarters, 8 teachers' quarters, an admin building, and an IT lab. Carres Engineering has a contractual obligation to fix any defects within 1 year and has promised that it would be done at no additional cost to the government. Also touring the facilities were residents and students, all of whom expressed elation with the completed works. Mondale Smith, InfoHub.
Paul McAdam now reports that government is ensuring it gets the Sovereign Wealth Fund right.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon today assured that the government is carefully crafting a sovereign wealth fund to fit local conditions.
This administration, we are taking our time. We are trying to get things right because we believe in the interests of the people of this country. We have to establish these funds. We have to establish all of these processes in a sound way that can stand scrutiny for years to come.
The Minister of State pointed out that something as important as this fund needs to be carefully analyzed.
We are getting advice from several places, including Chatham House and some of the well-established fund management countries and agencies. So I don't think that is something that somebody can just dream up in one afternoon or in a month and say, well, okay, here it is.
The Ministry of Finance is working on the finalization of the fund. Minister Harmon also expressed confidence in the judiciary to deal with any issues that may arise in the oil and gas industry. Minister Harmon noted the judiciary is on an upward trajectory. It has been building its capacity through training, and government, he says, has been putting measures in place to ensure good governance of the oil and gas industry and an independent judiciary through budgetary independence and the meritorious appointment of judges. Paul McCallum for InfoHub.
Government will lobby for additional funding to restore part of the Camp Street prison to house 350 prisoners. Finance Minister Winston Jordan explains.
Minister of Finance Winston Jordan said that the government will seek parliamentary approval for additional monies to fund the emergency expenditure required to reoperationalize the Georgetown prison.
We're waiting on the figure from the Public Security Ministry. This was discussed yesterday in Cabinet, and they're to put to me a plan that involves the emergency expenditure and other short-term expenditure. The other long-term or medium-term expenditure will be in the budget for 2018. But we'll just deal with the emergency expenditure now, for which we'll go back to Parliament shortly.
Minister Jordan explained that the prison situation saw both Ministries of Public Infrastructure and Public Security utilizing funds from their 2017 budgetary allocation for emergency works.
Both Ministry of Public Works and Ministry of Public Security, they're using existing resources to meet this expenditure. So in a sense, we will be giving them back the monies, plus additional monies for the other areas that they'll have to meet.
The minister is hoping for funds to be approved shortly so that the works can be completed soon. Zenil Williams for InfoHub.
GPL is intensifying efforts to reduce the shocking rates of electricity theft. The new project, GPL Customers in Focus, is set to launch on August 8. GPL will conduct interactive sessions to sensitize customers. I spoke with the Public Relations Officer, Chevon Sears, about the new initiative. The new project, GPL's Customers in Focus, is set to launch on August 8 to raise awareness about electricity theft. GPL's Loss Reduction Division will conduct interactive sessions to sensitize customers.
They will be informed and educated on metering issues, how to apply for a legal service, penalties for bypass and diversion of electricity, and the like. So GPL will be in several communities interacting with the customers to ensure customer satisfaction, and they are informed and educated on all aspects of GPL's operations.
Operations Manager Leon Williams explained that electricity theft is costing GPL millions in losses.
We will be interacting with the customer and outlining to them how electricity theft can affect their safety, how it can affect the tariff or the cost of electricity, and also how we can work together to eliminate electricity theft.
Many persons use ingenious methods to pilfer electricity.
In some cases, the theft are not visible to the eye, and therefore you have to use special investigation techniques to detect these thefts. And sometimes it is very challenging, and also sometimes the customers are very hostile.
The project will be executed in all the served areas across Guyana. TV Tiffany Rodias now joins us to report that Guyanese businesses are already signing up with Exxon's Business Center to access opportunities in the oil and gas industry.
The Business Center, which was launched last week, already has a database of local businesses interested in opportunities available in the oil and gas industry.
Back in January, in the interim, before we could get this going, we launched a supplier database, a registration portal. And so we already have 140 Guyanese companies registered in our database.
Exxon's Kimberly Bracington said the Business Center will provide key linkages to local businesses for joint venture opportunities in the industry.
It's really a robust, resource center of Guyanese companies that third parties could come in to form potential JVs with.
The Business Center is already providing information on upcoming tenders and contract bids, information critical to creating these joint venture opportunities. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
We now close with Zanil Williams reporting on the Guyana Robotics Team's return after finishing 10th from over 150 countries in the first global robotics competition in Washington.
The young team battled their way through fierce competition against 164 other countries. Farnaz Baksh, team manager, said that part of the team's success came from observing their environment.
One of the main focus was our pull-up mechanism, which was because of the weight of the bot. It was a little too heavy, and then we thought that if a Cooper system in Guyana, those doors are way heavier. So how was the gear mechanism of it behind it to just lift all the weight? So that's how come we found we use a larger sprocket, and it actually helped us to, in all 6 matches, we got our 20 points because of studying the Cooper system here in Guyana.
During the competition, the robot was required to battle against opponents of the competition's simulation exercise called H2O Flow. Viveknan Ramnares is one of the youngest members of the team.
So what we had to do was to design a robot that is able to take up this water and contaminant particles, sort and dispose of them accordingly.
However, competing in such a major competition called for cooperation and support from each member of the team. Horace Mosley, Public Relations Officer for the team, explained how they overcame challenges.
It was kind of strange to show up in the competition and see that, our bot is small, and seeing China and all of these different countries with big bots, and they all just, it was like, wow. When we start and we go out, we see our bot moving really different from every other bot, way faster, way better in performance.
First Lady Sandra Granger welcomed the team home. Mrs. Granger said moving forward, her main focus will be to ensure that every child across Guyana is involved in robotics.
We're talking about setting up clubs and leagues, so we start competing in communities and clubs so that we start to build and grow our talents in robotics. That it can only be beneficial to us. So when our kids leave high school or university, and we had a very good example of how they used the technical know-how that we had here to program their robot to perform.
STEM Guyana now turns their focus to the next global challenge, which will be held in Mexico City in 2018, with the aim of placing first and making Guyana proud once more. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.